Team just lost a league match when we're up. I think 14-9 team lost focus. Are goofing up before the win. What's the best way to remind them to remain focused without coming off as a dick? Bro, just tell them to stay focused. Telling someone they're doing something wrong is not you being a dick. Like, you should be able to give criticism to your teammates without them overreacting. If they overreact, that's not on you, that's on them. Depends on how you say it, but you know, if you don't insult them and you just if you address their actions and not their them as their character, that's how you should be doing it. And if they get mad by that, then like something's wrong on their part. But if you're insulting their character and you're like, yo, you guys always goof off, like of course they're gonna get upset, dude, because you're insulting their whole character. But if you be like, yo, guys, I get you want to joke right now, but we gotta focus up. Like if you focus on the here, now, and the action at the time, like if you can be specific about it, they shouldn't be getting mad. And if they get mad, that's on them. They got an ego or something. One thing you could do too, if you disagree with someone, you can I would start off asking them why they did something before you critique. So like just the way humans work, if you start off instantly just different directions, right? Different directions, you're gonna get resistance, right? But if you're like, oh, why did you do this? And they explain the reason, you're like, oh, I could see why you want to do that, right? If you can relate to them and validate them before correcting, they're 100% more likely to listen to you. So like instead of just being like, yo, you shouldn't jump spot right here. Instead of being that, be like, yo, why are you jump spotting right to left? And you know what? You might be able to learn something. You know, they might be correct. That's why it's you should if you want to correct something on a teammate, you should always ask why they do it first because one, you could be wrong. Two, you get to understand their point and their viewpoint before like you say yours. So, right? They get to speak first. And then three, it validates them. It shows that you're on the same page, you know, like you're like, okay, that makes sense. And then you can correct them if they're doing something wrong. Be like, but I think you should do this instead. And dude, I'm telling you, just switching that up with teammates, they're going to be so much more receptive, and it's going to be a way healthier growing environment for everyone involved. And then people aren't scared to watch demos because if all you're doing when you watch demos, like, yo, you shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be picking this. You shouldn't be spraying that. And it's more like of a learning experience. Like you're asking them, and like when you ask them a question, they'll be like, they're not afraid to like say why they did because they can be right. Everyone, you could be wrong, they could be right, they could be wrong, you could be right. You want like a healthy communication environment. So like ask a question before you critique. And then also, yeah, when you're critiquing too, it should be about the action and not the player itself. Because insulting a player as a whole is always gonna get resistance from the player. You're never gonna get someone to agree with you if you just call them a shit player. You should always be focused on the action. Like, yeah, I don't think you should be peeking this. Like, you know, like I see why, you know, you thought it was like a 1v1 or a 1v2. But yeah, it's definitely not a good peak you should be doing. Like that's a healthy way of doing it.